For our group project, we are covering the topic of key success factors in selling. Starting off first, we have listening skills, and then we have follow-up skills, and then the demonstrate ability to overcome objections, followed by closing skills, and finally personal planning and time management.
Listening skills is very important in the world of sales. By perfecting this skill, it will help you to strengthen buyer-seller relationship, gaining trust and respect from your clients, expressing appropriate body language and facial expressions to help show understanding and focus, while also responding an appropriate amount of time.
Relationship between the buyer and the seller is a vital part in making a sale. Showing the client that you are listening and that you are understanding their needs and wants can strengthen the relationship between you two. Facial expressions and body language are physical proofs of listening when having conversations with clients. Things such as open arm movements, understanding facial expressions will encourage the client to know that you are listening to their needs and wants. Proper response time can make or break a conversation. This also comes with being prepared for information to give to clients.
Hi, I'm Professor Olette. Did you know that in a common conversation, we only listen for about 17 seconds? The vast majority of us are poor and inefficient listeners. Yet it's an extremely important skill to develop. So today I'm going to share with you a couple of tips and techniques that you can incorporate into your everyday to become a better listener. My first suggestion is that you eliminate all distractions. That includes your phone. You can maintain good eye contact with that speaker, and you're in an environment where you can hear and hear really well. Also, think about the tendencies you may have to interrupt, to maybe think about something else, and really learn to bring your mind back to that situation at that moment in time. Which leads me to my second suggestion, and that is being mindful. Knowing every minute that you listen to that speaker is a very important minute, and every minute that you listen, you can learn. So incorporate these tips and techniques in your everyday, and you'll become a great listener. Thanks so much.
Follow-up skills are a critical step in building and maintaining long-term relationships with customers, as well as relationship maintenance and management with potential customers as well as already existing accounts. Follow-up skills consist of the mechanics of making contact with the customer, how often you make contact with the customer, and what to say before, during, and after the sale. Often prompt responses help find and fulfill customers' needs and wants. According to the list of success factors in selling, follow-up skills are the second most important skill a salesperson can have within the sales force. Follow-up skill methods include, but are not limited to, email, phone call, and in-person meetings. According to Michelle Maxfield, who served as sales director at Velasquez and now serves as sales director at SKU Local, 48% of salespeople fail to follow up with a prospect. Multiple follow-ups with a prospect are incredibly important. Salespeople should try to follow up with a prospect the same day a lead is generated and consistently stay in contact with that prospect, but not to the point where that prospect will become annoyed. 60% of customers have stated that they will say no 4 times before finally saying yes, and 80% of sales require at least 5 follow-ups before a sale is landed. Follow-ups with your prospect should be solely focused on your prospect and their company, and what your company can do for them. This includes showing that you've done your research on your prospect and their company and how you and your product are going to help them. You should also make sure to provide value in your follow-ups and make sure your prospect knows you are willing to go the extra mile to make sure their needs and wants are not only met but expected. Through multiple follow-ups with a prospect, not only will a salesperson deal with less competition as others fail to follow up with the prospect, but they will also begin to know the prospect and know their needs and wants. The prospect will begin to trust that salesperson, and when the time is right, they will be ready to buy.
About the ability to overcome objections. Objections in sales are to be expected. You know they're going to arise when you're dealing with a client at some point. So you can counter these by anticipating objections by having credible facts and claims to make back in order to counter those. The next thing you can do is brainstorm possible objection solutions. This will allow you to have solutions already made on hand if a problem does arise, so you can take care of it instantaneously and not have to worry about it and move on to the next part of the sales process. The next thing you should do is stay positive. It's going to be hard for you to deal with any objections that may arise if you have a negative and bad attitude about it. You know they're going to happen at some point. Just take care of them and stay positive. The next thing you should do if multiple objections may arise is just remove them one by one. If you try to take care of them all at once, you're likely going to become overwhelmed and not be able to take care of them.
Let's use retail sales as an example. What's the number one objection we will run into when selling in the retail world? Cost, price, shipping cost, lead time. Also, another hurdle that we're going to run into is relationships that your customer already has with other customers or other sales reps. I think that to overcome those obstacles, those hurdles, we need to sell on service and less on product. And we need to bring value to our product. Find a way to bring value to our product, find a way to bring value to our company. Too many times in the retail world, we find that people go sell a bill of goods and disappear and do not bring value to what they're selling. So let's find a way to bring value. What does that mean? That means doing your homework, finding out in the retail world. Before our meeting, let's go find out what they're already currently selling. What are they carrying? What price points are they carrying? What price points are they missing? What categories or products are they missing? Do we offer those products? Do we offer those missing categories or price points? So let's do our homework. Let's bring value to what we're selling, okay? So also too, generally speaking, when you're selling a higher end product, you're selling higher end quality. Generally higher end quality means less issues for your customer, less issues they have to deal with as far as returns, less issues they have to deal with upset customers. Also too, higher end product generally means you're bringing a higher end clientele willing to spend more money. Generally higher end products bring higher end margins, okay? For your customer, the means of their income, obviously sales, but margins. What am I gonna make when I sell this product to my customer? So I think the big thing here is let's bring value to what we're selling. And let's be a good sales rep. Let's bring value.
Next, we're going to talk about closing skills. The first closing skill you need to have is identifying the decision maker. It is likely when you first meet up with a client, it is not going to be the head of the business or the decision maker in the sale. So what you need to do is find a way to get to the decision maker and create a customized sales pitch that is catered to them in order to increase the likeliness of you making the sale. The next thing you need to do is create a sense of urgency. Attaching something like a deadline will likely help push a client to commit to a deal. However, you do not need to make them feel rushed because they will likely back out of the deal. And lastly, the closing skill is knowing your competitors. If you can provide the parts of your business that have a competitive advantage, that can be a great selling point for you, as well as pointing out the weak points of the other business can also be a great selling point, showing why your business is superior to the other.
No client wants to do business with someone who's never on time and is not prepared. Using different tools to help you with planning and time management can always keep you organized and on time.
Using technological tools such as calendars and alerts and reminders can help you to stay organized and plan your time accordingly.
Additional tools used to achieve personal planning and time management includes physical calendars and physical planners that are both time and date oriented. It is important to remember that schedules can be subject to change, so being prepared for those changes and altering your schedule accordingly is beneficial when managing your time.
Overall, the key success factors in selling are listening skills, follow-up skills, demonstrates ability to overcome objections, closing skills, and personal planning and time management.